evening, everyone, and welcome to Stamp and Chat Live. I am Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you from all over the United States and all around the world. Tonight, we're going to have some fun because we're going to be playing with watercolor. Now, I know that a lot of people here might feel that watercolor is a difficult thing to play with, and you may have purchased some watercolors or maybe some watercolor markers, and you don't feel like you are able to use them the way that you want to use them. But I'm going to show you a super fun way to use watercolors where you don't need to be able to, you don't have to be an artist at all to do this. It is just good, clean fun. And when I say clean, we're going to be using a spray bottle, and I'm going to be getting it all over the place. All right, so before we get started, let's say a warm welcome to Tom. Hey, Tom.
Hey, I don't have to be an artist at all. I'm loving that.
You don't have to be an artist at all for this. It is so easy. And it's the most vibrant technique I think I've ever done. I think you're going to love it.
Cool.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
How are you feeling?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just a little residual death rattle.
I'm over here rattling. Oh, do I have a cough drop? Yeah,
rattling in the dead space.
Rattling in the dead space, trying to not make too much noise. Yeah, I'm good.
Good, good. Well, welcome, everyone. Everybody's coming in. It usually takes about 15 minutes for everybody to get here. So, well, anything new in your life, Tom?
Oh, let's see. No, just playing a lot of music these days, having fun with that. I should have some video to post on my, I've been away from Instagram. So
Instagram,
I don't have that quite down like you do, keeping up with it. But
well, you know, I'm always in this room doing this stuff, so it's easy for me. But we always enjoy when you post an Instagram of playing music.
Yeah, I'll have more coming. Got
right.
Some things brewing.
Good, good. Well, hello, everyone. I see everybody coming in. Okay, so one more time recap. We're going to be doing a super easy watercolor technique that does not require any skill at all. So for those of you that are worried and you have all of these beautiful watercolors and watercolor markers and things like that, don't worry about it. Try this technique and you'll be so glad you have them. Okay, so what I have here is just a bunch of Zig clean color brush markers. I really like these for watercoloring. They make it super easy, and if you've never seen these before, the actual tip of the brush of the marker is a brush. So it's like a little paintbrush. And I really, really enjoy these. Now, you can also do this technique with something like, let me grab just two here, Tombow markers, because these are water reactive markers. So you can use something like this. You can also use these. I don't know if you've seen these before. Oop, how'd that get in there? These are the Arteza Real Brush pens. They have a longer brush, kind of a bigger brush on the tip, and these work really well too. And if you don't have any of these things and you just have regular watercolor paints, you can use watercolor paints as well. If you have a good water, kind of like the Tim Holtz Distress ink, you can use that. You can also use his distress sprays to do this. But we're going to do it with Zigs because that's what I have, and I think you can get some really bright, vibrant looks from it. So I'm going to pick a few colors here. I think I'm going to use this one. This is just called pink. And then I also have this one, which is called fluorescent pink. I'll use that too. And then I think I will use orange. Boy, they didn't really stretch too far to come up with names, did they? So I'm going to use these three markers for my first piece. Yep, koi watercolors, anything like that. All you want to do is just get lots of ink on your brush, lots of paint on your brush, and put the paint down first so that it's real highly pigmented. And then you're going to spritz it with water, okay? So you don't want to have it too watery when you start. That's one of the reasons I like these, because I don't have to think quite as much, but you can definitely do this technique with watercolors like Koi or the Prima watercolors, or maybe you have the Daniel Smith watercolors, any of those. All right, so I'm going to cut this down to 4¼ inches by 5½. Just do a quarter sheet. And let me show you the cardstock that I'm using. Now, Karin markers, are they watercolor? I am so bad with that, with knowing about that, because I don't have them. I never purchased them, but I think they are. I think they're watercolor markers. And if they are, you can definitely use them. Now, I purchased this at an art supply store in Milwaukee here. This is just Canson watercolor paper. It's cold pressed paper. This is really big, this book. This is 30 sheets of 11 by 15. You don't need 30 sheets of 11 by 15. You can get smaller packs, but this was all that was available when I went to the store that day. So that's what I'm using. Now I need my big paper cutter to cut some of this down. So I'm going to do that with my tonic cutter. And again, I'm going to go to the 5½ inch mark, and I'm just going to cut just a couple panels at 4¼ inches. I didn't do the math to see if it was better to cut it at 4¼ inches, but see my rough edges, no big deal. We're not going to need the edges. So I have 3 panels here. That should be enough to do tonight's technique. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, let's zoom back in a bit. Great to see you all. Happy Tuesday. All right. So I am going to start with some of this pink. It's number 025. It's just called pink. And I am going to color just like this with this pink watercolor. No water, just coloring with the pigment here. Just kind of moving it all around. Okay. Great. Then I'm going to use some orange, and it's number 070 orange. And I'm going to add some orange in here. It's kind of a fun little background, huh? All right. And then I'm going to use fluorescent pink, and that's number 003. So, yeah, I decided on watercolor paper. I think you can use other kinds of paper, but I really like the way this paper works. Also, another really good watercolor paper is the Tim Holtz watercolor paper. That's really good. But my daughter, Alicia, is an artist, and a lot of times if we have a lunch date, we'll go to the art supply store. So I always buy something there. I like to support the local art supply store. Okay, I'm going to move this piece of paper. Now I'm going to take a spray bottle with this is the Tim Holtz Distress Sprayer. And I'm going to spray some water on here. I'm really getting it nice and wet. And then I'm going to just kind of let it run a little bit. And then I'm going to use my heat tool, and I'm going to spread some of that around. You see how if you go real close, it kind of veins out? It's kind of wet. I don't need all of that. So I'm just drying this. I'm going to add some more color to it. So I'm coloring, if you just got here, I'm coloring with Zig Clean Color brush markers. But you can go ahead and do whatever paints you want. Oh, yes, look at that comment. Aw, big shout out to all the Gina K pickers and packers. they did work hard to get everybody's orders out. That was a very big, busy release. But I think everything's out because I saw them actually helping out in assembly today. So everybody knows our new release is right around the corner. Okay, so now I'm going to add a little more color to this. And with watercolor, it's kind of cool because you can layer color on top of other color. I wonder what this one is. This is dark pink. Should I add a little dark pink into it? Why not? I'll add a little bit of dark pink in here. See what that looks like. See what that does. I like pinks and oranges together because they don't blob up and make brown ever. Okay, sprayed it with more water, and now I'm just gonna vein that out a little bit. Ooh, that's pretty. I'll just dab that a bit. Ooh. It's shooting all over. Okay, just drying it up here. I kind of like when it does this, where it looks like just, you know, like almost like a grape juice stain or something. I really like that look. Okay. Just going to go on the back a little bit so it's not too curled up. I'd like to get a little more orange in there, but I don't know if that'll work. Let's just try it. We'll add a little more orange in a couple spots.
Question when the next release is.
Our next release is going to be Tuesday. Next Tuesday. How's that? Next Tuesday already. That's the 14th of June. Oh, I kind of like that, the way that color looks a lot darker on there. Okay, this is looking good. Yes, there will be a new kit on Tuesday. I do want to mention, not to freak anybody out, but I don't know if anybody even noticed, we were able to put the ephemera and pattern paper and the ink cubes and everything online. So it is available in our store in the What's New category. But it's not like a mad rush because so many people got the kit. But if you wanted more of the ephemera or the pattern paper, you can pick that up starting today. Okay, so I'm going to finish this up because it's just still a little bit wet. I don't want it to be super wet here. So isn't this a pretty color combination? It's so vibrant. Well, I could use alcohol inks, but you know, I really, really love watercolor to play with like this. But if you have alcohol inks, you can do the same thing with alcohol inks. That's totally fine. I'm just showing tonight a way for people who maybe are a little intimidated by their watercolors and they haven't used them and they want to use them because they're sitting there being unused. A really fun couple of cards that you can make. Okay, so I am going to get my die cutting machine out. Courtney, we planned it for your birthday. Our next release is on Courtney's birthday. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a couple different dies, and I have this one from the Botanical Duo. I'm going to use that one. I'm also going to use this from the Foliage Fillers. I have a couple of those from Foliage Fillers. And I'm going to cut all of these out, actually, from Foliage Fillers. Okay.
Is there a smooth side and a textured side?
You know, there is a little bit of a smooth side and textured side. Not as drastic as Tim Holtz's cardstock, but you could use either side you want, whatever you like better. Okay, let's see if this is going to fit. No, I've got to turn things around a little bit here. Sneak them in closer. So I have my dies all blade side up, and I'm going to lay this piece of watercolor cardstock on top, and I'm going to cut out all of those images. So yes, you can use Arteza markers. I'm using the Zig Clean Color brush markers for mine. I find that they're just so vibrant. So let's see if these cut out well. This is a thick paper, but look at that. These are so pretty. Oh my goodness. Aren't they beautiful? They're so vibrant. Okay. One more here. Two more, actually. So I used cold press paper. I don't know if it makes a difference because, again, you know, I just bought the paper that was like the first one that I saw. Those of you that are real artists might know if that makes a difference, but look how pretty that is. Oh, I love that. Okay, let's pull this one out. We'll get rid of these little innards. And we'll poke these out too, if they poke out. If they don't poke out, I'm going to leave them. Oh, they do. Definitely they do. All right. There we go. Okay. So there we go. Now I have those. There's one little spot here that I can poke out. So now we have those. Okay. So let's make another one. I'm going to put these aside, but aren't they absolutely gorgeous? They're going to be so pretty. Okay, let's make another one. And of course, you know me, I've got to do some with the blues and the greens. Got to get some of that in there. Okay, I'm going to do a couple of different layouts. So I'm going to just put this aside just because it's so pretty. I don't want to waste it. I don't know how I'll use it, but I might be able to find a way to use it. I mean, if I had cut them out and given it space, that actually would have been very pretty on the card, wouldn't it? Ooh, look at that. That is actually very pretty. Also, you can put it over black, which is quite striking as well. Okay, but we're not going to do that. We're going to do something different, but I'm just throwing ideas out there because I know you guys are brilliant and you have lots of great ideas in your head, and it's fun to kind of see how things look because some of you probably said, oh, put that over white or put that over black. Okay, so here I've got some light green. I have cobalt blue. I have Persian green, and I have pale green. I thought I had a more turquoise zig, but it wouldn't surprise me if I lost it somewhere. Here's one. This is a light blue. I have a little piece left over here. I'm just going to see what that looks like. I think that's going to be too light because we really need to make these vibrant. And I think these colors are a lot more vibrant, especially once you spray them with water, everything lightens up. So I think these will be good colors. Oh, look at that green. That green is beautiful. That one is light green. Love that green. That green might be a little pale. I'm going to put that with the blue. And let me look at this one other green. This green is called May green. Oh, that might be fun too. Okay. All right. They really are nice, the zig markers. You're right. They are really nice to use. Now we're going to do the same kind of thing. Yeah, the Arteza water brush markers work too, definitely. Okay, so we'll put a little bit of this Persian green. This one looks like teal to me. It looks like our tranquil teal. I just like spreading them out. Just making a little pattern. Going down the card. Tom, if you see any questions, just let me know. You can't find your zig markers? Oh, no. they're there. Somebody in our group found a stamp and die set that she had lost months ago today. So it's there somewhere. We could add some purple into this, but I always get nervous when the purple and green get too close together because that does not work. But the purples and the blue, I mean the greens and the blues, or the purples and blues, work really great. Let's add some of this darker green in there. Just a little bit. And then we'll add some cobalt. So the difference between the layering weight and the 80-pound layering weight and our heavy base weight, our heavy base weight is about 120 pounds. It's very heavy, great for card bases, especially for single layer cards. It's also great because Copic markers don't bleed through our 120-pound white. So if you wanted to do a single layer Copic card, you could. But the 80-pound is great for layering, and it's also great for card bases when you're doing lots of layers on the top and on the inside, because then your card doesn't get too bulky. All right, I'm spraying with water now. Lots of water. And then we're going to fan it out a bit. Yeah, if you do this with alcohol markers, you get more of that alcohol marker kind of, looks like polished stone a little bit. But this is pretty too. Look at that. We don't need all of that. If we added some of it though back in. Ooh, that's pretty. Why waste it, right? I'm just picking up what's on my table here. Yeah, I like how this turned very yellow, but I think I'm going to add a little bit more of that blue, like the darker. I want a little more dark in there.
Would watercolor pencils work?
You know, I like watercolor pencils, but I don't think that they work the same way as like watercolor paint does. I think that they move more like pencils and Gamsol than paint. Now, that's just my opinion. You probably could get it to work, but I struggle a little bit with watercolor pencils and getting them to look like this. I think that might get a little frustrating. But watercolor pencils are a great substitute for colored pencils in Gamsol, and you don't need Gamsol. You just use water instead of the Gamsol, and you get a pretty nice blend. So your pencils are important. And they are good. All right, let's clean this up here a little bit. Get some water on that. What a mess. Okay, here we go. So that's pretty nice. Kind of like the way that one turned out. It does look like an ocean. Yes, it does. Okay, so let's cut the same ones out. I do want to show you, though, you could take something like this and you could cut it into a shape and then put a white die cut over it. Like I did with this one. I was playing with one that I made and I cut it out with the heart. So you could do this and then just put a plain die cut across it like that in white or in black. So I just love this kind of look. Okay, so let's get the die cutting machine back again. Don't you feel like you can do this? Like this is so easy. It's very hard to screw it up. It really is. It's really hard to screw it up because all you're basically doing is just coloring some splotches with some water spray and then just using your heat tool to blow it around the paper. Okay, let's do those same dies again. I really like the way they cut. I really don't have a ton of other dies, you know, standalone dies, but we are going to be adding more into our collection because these have been very popular. Oh, I do have to poke out all this stuff. There we go. But you could even do word dies like this, especially if you have big chunky letters. Some of our dies have big chunky letters. That's kind of fun. You could do frames like this. You could do a lot of things. So don't limit yourself just to what I'm doing, but you know, I can only do so much in one video. This was my idea for tonight. Okay. So I'm going to lay this on top. Blade side up, I'm going to lay my cardstock on its back. People ask me a lot, why do you do that? I just think intricate dies cut better when you put the cardstock on top and you do the blade side up and you have it off to one side of your die cutting machine. Laverne, I just answered your question. It just seems, oh, guys. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Isn't that stunning? I'm just putting them all on black while we're sitting here. Thank you. I love the dies too. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you like the way they cut. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because there will be people that will say to me, I've had this die forever and I've tried everything with shims and everything. And all I did was turn it upside down and for some reason it just cut perfectly. So I do it that way just because then I don't have to, you know, struggle and go back and try to recut it. Oh my goodness, I'm dropping everything. Here we go. Love this color combo. Another great color combo is like pink and purple and blue. Ooh, that's beautiful too. So you can try as many different color combinations as you want. Just poking the little insides out. Okay, here we go. So I love this color combo very, very much. And now let's make a couple cards with this. Now, you know, you can make backgrounds like this and just use them as beautiful backgrounds. So this technique, you know, imagine cutting a piece of this out with a die plate, you know, one of our hearts or our basket weave or any of those, and to have all of that beautiful, all of the lines, instead of just being in a plain cardstock color, will be all watercolored like that. So again, there's so many different ways to do this, but with only an hour and doing everything live and I can't edit and speed up, I decided to pick one technique. And I thought this was a fun one because it actually uses the watercolor as the focal image as opposed to a background. All right. Okay, now let's see what we have. Now there's a couple different ways that we can do these. One layout I had, here I took a piece of black cardstock, and can you guys see that I embossed it with the Swiss dot folder? Can they see that, Tom?
Yes.
Okay. So I embossed it with the Swiss dot folder. I was just practicing a few things to see what it would look like. And so I didn't center this very well, but I think it's going to be okay. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to get a piece of white cardstock. I'm not going to use my good watercolor paper. I'm just going to use 80-pound layering weight. Not that this paper isn't good, but you know, you can do pretty much anything on layering weight paper, but watercolor paper, you really need that for good watercolor. So I cut this down to 3.5 inches by 4 3/4 inches. You could also cut that down using Master Layouts 2 if you wanted to, and you wanted to have a little decorative edge. Although the decorative edge is a little harder to see in the black. And then I'm going to cut this one down to 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. So I guess if I'm using black cardstock, then I have to have a white border, right? Okay. So there's a little white border. And I really feel like all of the color on this card should come from the artwork itself, from these images themselves, not from a card base, but maybe we'll see. Okay. So if we decided to use these for this one, let me grab all of these that I made. Actually cut a bunch of them out earlier, so I've got extras here. We can pick the best ones. Wanted to see how this looked earlier, so I did cut a bunch. I didn't cut these though. Let me cut 2 of these. I think they'll be nice in there. Okay. So let's see here. I am going to tape this down first. I think I am. Yeah, I'm going to tape this down first onto my white. Oh, I didn't. What's wrong with me? I can't seem to layer my cards the last 2 videos. There we go. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to cut a white card base. So let me get my big paper cutter out because I want to cut this to be a 10-fold card. So we don't have any master layouts coming for this next release, but we will have more coming in the future. Not for the next release. But we have some really cool dies in our upcoming kit. I think you're going to like them. Something a little bit different. Something you could definitely use for this technique too, which will be super fun. Okay. Forgot about that. All right, so I'm going to just fold this at the 5.5-inch mark. Oh, look how green my nails are. That's one thing about this technique. You'll just get very inky. Very painted. And then, no, that's wrong. We're going to go with a color because you won't be able to see the white. I'm sure some of you already thought of that. Now, I cut this circle using our double-stitched circles dies, this set right here. It's the smallest one. And then I cut this out. I thought that looked really pretty in the center. And let me tell you which one that is from. I've got to grab it here so I can show you. That is from Master Layouts 5, and it's just this one right here. Now, we could do the whole thing where we do white, black, and then white again. That might look really nice. So let's try that just so I can show you the difference. I don't have to cut the black one. I'll just cut these 2 out of white. I'll tell you, if you don't keep your master layouts organized by themselves, they do get mixed up. But I found that some of the circles all nest together, and you could go, you could get some combinations that you otherwise wouldn't have just by using a single master layout set. So they do all work together. It's really interesting. So I'm going to cut these 2 out in white. Get my paper cutter out of the way. Alrighty. And then I'll show you what this looks like. This gives you a little black beaded edge, and I love the way it looks. So I want to put my dies out of the way so I don't lose them. I did throw them in that little magnetic dish. Okay. Alrighty. So if you didn't want to do that stitch look there and you wanted to stamp on white, I do really like the way this looks. So you see how that creates that little beaded edge? And then this is going to cover most of that, and you just get that little accent going around the edge. This is Master Layouts 5. And I love that look. Isn't that fun? Let's zoom in a bit so you can see it up close. Here we go. Isn't that pretty? So that might be a really pretty look that we could stamp in a black greeting there. We can stamp with black ink. So let me grab a stamp set for that. Let's use it. And we can look at that other white layer. I think All About You would be a great one to use for this. Let's see if it fits. You are such a wonderful person. Wouldn't that be nice to put in there? I think that's what we'll do. So I'm going to use my Misty for this, just in case I want to stamp it more than once. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of tape and put it on the back of this. And then I'm going to stick this right to my Misty mat. This way I can stamp more than once, and there's really no way to get it up in a corner when it's a circle like this. Mindy's giving hints on the next release. Hi, Mindy. Mindy said the next release is so good, you won't want to miss it. It's true. I'm excited about it. You working on your videos, Mindy? Okay. So we'll stamp that, and I'm going to get my black ink. Okay. There we go. We'll stamp that. I'll use my Chucky just to make it easy. And what I'm finding is I really enjoy just stamping lightly and then doing a couple layers. It doesn't squish out the greeting very much this way, and it gets it to be nice and black, nice and dark. I love that. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm going to pull that off. And remember, it's a circle, so I know it looked a little tilted, but all you have to do is straighten it out because it's a circle. Love circles. The colors of the first one, and also, you guys, I know a lot of you watch on YouTube. So, I mean, we've got 2,500 people here right now because we're actually triple streaming. So we're on YouTube right now, we're on Facebook right now, and we're on Twitch right now. So people are coming in from all different platforms. If you watch on Facebook, all you really have is the replay. But you can always go back afterwards and head over to my YouTube channel, because I will update the video with everything that I used in the video. So if you know, what color was that? You don't know what color pencil I used or what color ink I used. I put them all over there on YouTube. There's just nowhere to do it really on Facebook. Okay, so I'm going to adhere these together. And the reason somebody asked me one time, well, why don't you do it first? And the answer is because most of the time, I don't know what I'm going to do in my videos. I have a technique in mind, but I don't even know, like, which colors. I mean, even tonight, I was like, ooh, I want to add a little more of this. Now, if we use the big one, that's what it will look like. But if we use the small one, it looks kind of beaded around the perimeter. So which one do you guys like? Do you like the small one? I think I like the small one. I hope you guys say small. Because this one, it's so much going on with all that stitching and then more stitching and more stitching. And I mean, it's cute, you know, but I don't know. I can't see. Can you scroll down? I want to see. They like small, 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 small. Okay. All right. We've got a couple people that like the big one, but most people like the small one. So we're going to go with the small. I'm sorry for everybody that said big. I always feel bad. I don't know why I ask, because then I always feel bad. I know somebody's not going to get what they want. Okay, so there we go. All right, so now we have that little beaded edge. And now what we're going to do is we're going to create a little floral design. So And I am going to pick a card base color. And I think I'm going to go really pale. Like maybe innocent pink? No. Let me try Dusty Rose. I feel like Dusty Rose is in here quite a bit. I think Dusty Rose is going to be a good card base color. Because there's definitely Dusty Rose in there. But I want to actually go outside of this. I could do a black card base. That would be striking, wouldn't it? People are saying darker. Okay, let me just try black. Or we could try gray. We could try gray. Ooh, gray. Ooh, gray. I think I'm liking the gray. I'm going to cut them both and we'll look. Okay. I think orange would look good. I think pink would look good. But I actually think because I just want all the color to come from these images, that either black or gray. And you never have to worry about using a black card base because all you have to do is put a plain white panel inside and then you can write on that. So you can use a black card base if you want to. So let's just see what it looks like. What did I do with my scoreboard? Here it is. There was nothing on my desk a little while ago. So we'll try the black, but I think the gray is going to be such a nice addition to the black. So I just want to, it's not like I'm not going to use the card bases, so I might as well have them ready to go. Because I think I'm going to end up doing it with the other one too. Okay, so here is what the gray, let's look at the black first. Here's what the black looks like. And then when you get all of these coming out of here.
Did you say what stamp set that greeting is from?
This is from the All About You stamp set. Yes, I did mention it, but it goes by fast. So that black really does look pretty. I think if we add a couple little leaves right over here, these would be pretty right in here. Okay, so that's the black. And we could do a small leaf. So you see how I have like 2 leaves here, and then this feels kind of empty right here? I don't want to do the same thing there. So what I can do is just trim this down. I could even trim this one just so that it's a tiny one, like this. And that gives it a little more balance. So that's the black. And let's just look at the gray. I'll try to be very careful and lift it to the gray. You just don't know what something's going to look like until you see it. So what do you think about the gray? Because the gray just gives it like something different there. All right, I'm waiting for the comments. Okay, people love the black. All right, the black is the winner. The black pops the colors. I agree. The black is just, all right, no gray. Okay, all right, we're going with the black. Okay, so let's just tape this right down onto here. See, I feel like if you used a pink or an orange, it would be really pretty, except where these go on the outside, like where they kind of extend past, it would get lost in that perimeter. That's why I think having the black out there really makes a difference. Okay, I'm going to lay these out one more time, just so I kind of know where I want them. And I'm going to leave this kind of in the middle, so this way I can fuss with it a bit. All right, and this one was coming down from about there. And we had this one coming from out here. And then we had this tiny one. I could put the tiny one over here since it's opposite of that. And then I'll use the little tiny leaves on this side. Okay. Alrighty. So now once I know where all of that goes, now I can just leave that greeting there and I can just slip these out one at a time, put a little bit of tape on them. You can use glue if you want to. And then just slip them back into where I want them. Press them down. This one has a lot going on here. Needs a lot of tape. Okay. I do like this one. Just trying to keep it inside that card base, because remember, it's got to fit in an envelope. Okay. And then we'll do this little one. That's what's kind of fun about the long leaves like this, where you can just chop them down and make them small. Okay. This is just a fun wreath, isn't it? We have to do another one using the green ones, but I want to try a different layout for that and see how it looks. This on top. This one's real stick-legged. These two. And then we should pop that up with some foam squares, definitely. We have to give these cards away tonight, Tom.
Okay.
Okay, so that's my design there. Now I'm going to get some foam tape on the back of this. So, Tom, I didn't ask you if you had a word of the day. Is there no word of the day?
Yes.
There's no word of the day?
There is a word of the day.
There is a word of the day? Ooh,
okay, so I don't know how many people have heard of this word, but it's an actual word. You can look it up. Everywhen.
Every win?
Everywhen.
Every when?
Like everywhere. Everywhen. It means all the time and always. Everywhen.
Well, that's a good word. So, Tom, you want to see what I just did to my card to make everybody laugh? You ready?
Yeah. Whoa.
How many of you have done that before? You know, this could drive somebody insane, because I gave my mother a card that was a tent-fold card, and she liked cards that open book fold, and she couldn't figure out how to open it. So this would really drive somebody nuts. But you know what I'll do? I'll just cut it off, and I'll just mount the whole thing onto another card base. This way it will open right. Because that's just dumb. You know, you could mount it even on this gray card base, and then when you open it up on the inside, it would be lighter, and you could write in there. So maybe I'll do that. We'll just leave it like this for now, though. It's good enough. It's better than horrible. Okay, so for those of you that don't have dies, I'm going to cut this down to 3.5 by 4 3/4. For those of you who don't have, I meant embossing folders, not dies. You could use your Score Buddy to put a little texture in. You guys have seen me do that before, so I can do that just to add a little texture. All I'm going to do is find a spot. Sometimes I'll take this little mark that I put down here in Sharpie, and I'll figure out where that goes. That goes to the star. And so I'll put one point at the top where the star is, and one point down here where my Sharpie mark is. And I'll just create a diamond pattern just by scoring at every ½ inch mark. Is that what I'm doing? Yeah, every half.
You can call that the oven door card opening.
The oven door card. Ooh, I did that one wrong. Let's just smooth that out and fix that. Did you know you could smooth them out and fix them? You can. You know, you can't even see this really like you can with white cardstock. Just toss that across the room. I wish you could have gotten the front view of that. I just literally flung it across the room. Okay. We'll do this again. And I'm going to use an embossing folder because that is where my brain is telling me I need to go. I hope you guys are laughing with me. Holy cow. I can't see it on the black. I'm too old. I can't see it. So back to embossing folders. Okay. Here we go. Let's do the lattice one because I really like, you know, staying away from the florals when you're doing so much foliage and stuff. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to lay this in here, this on top, and then I've got 3 little pieces of cardstock. This seemed to be the preferred way. There's 2. And here's my 3rd one that I was using earlier. And then we'll just run that through. Just fling it. Don't worry about it. Just fling it.
I'm chilling the fruit salad as we speak.
Good. Thank you. I'm going to need it. Oh, yeah. Look at that. See? Can you guys see that? Isn't that beautiful? I actually might use this side because it's got a little more surface to it. Can they see that, Tom?
I think so, yes.
Can you see it?
I can see
I hope you guys can see it. If not, you'll definitely see it in my pictures that I'm going to post later. You'll definitely see it. Okay. So.
It's getting dangerous in here. Projectiles.
So this one, I thought maybe we could do something where we have the greeting on the corner and then we just bring some foliage out from that. Wouldn't that be pretty? Oh, this color combination is amazing. What do you guys think? Just do a little leaf up here. And maybe one coming out from there. And then we'll just trim that off on the side there. So we'll have kind of our greeting coming in just from there. Now we need a smaller greeting. Something that's a little bit thinner and longer. So I didn't plan for that. So give me a second. Let me grab my mini stamp sets here. I've got my minis in a little box. So what might work is I have some of these longer ones. Ooh, I like that one, but it's too big. This is the tricky part. Ooh, I love this greeting right here. I hope you're my friend forever because that's how long I'm gonna need you. Oh, isn't that just a great greeting? Oh, let's do that one. Let's do that one. So this is the Heartfelt Hydrangea stamp set. I love to just mix it up, mix and match. And I think this is going to be really pretty. So let's tape this down onto the Misty. I like this one. I like giving these kind of cards to people too, like, you know, in the live, because my goodness, sometimes I end up like making a sympathy card and then I'm like, ugh, somebody just won a sympathy card. So these are a lot more fun to give away. Okay. Alrighty. So again, I'm going to go real light-handed with this because it's a delicate greeting, and I'm just going to give it a couple coats of black rather than squishing it and distorting the words. One more coat. I think my circle's right side up, but you know, the way my brain is working right now, it might not be right side up. So I'm not going to outline this circle at all. I'm just going to lay the circle on top, and I'm just going to trim it down. Okay. So there's going to be no layering on this one, but I think there's so much color going on that you don't even really need it. That'll get put away later. Okay. But you know, I definitely need a piece of white to go onto the backing here. So let's just quick lay this out again, just making sure things are where we want them. Pretty close. And then this is going to go right on top. Okay. So I'm going to quick tack these down with a little bit of tape. We have even more people here now than we did earlier, and that's because somebody probably went to a group and said, oh my gosh, come and check out this chick. She is just messing up left and right. Take them just a little outside here. That's okay. That's the fun of live, right? It's fun to go live. You never know what's going to happen. So this one's going to go down here. I'm just checking, making sure. Oh yeah, that works. Oh my gosh. Well, most of that's going to be underneath that I just bent. Yes, still better than horrible. Exactly. See? You're my people. Okay. Music's nice, Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Make sure this all looks good still. Oh, yes, it does. I might move this one down a little bit. Get it down here near the end. And then I'm going to pop these in right at the end. So I'm going to tape this a little bit more. So I was just trying to rub off the apostrophe because that's about where my brain is at this point. Like, oh no, what is that on the card? It's the apostrophe. Okay, we're going to put that right there. And then we're going to gently, oh my word, we're going to gently trim off the edge of this circle. Okay. Then I'm going to get some white. I'm going to cut a white border to 4 7/8 by 5, 3 5/8. 4 7/8. Again, you could cut these out with master layouts too. You don't have to be, you know, kind of as putsy as I am right now. Okay. This is very textured on the back, so it's getting a little extra tape. I'm going to trim a little off the bottom of this, I think. No, I'm not. I'm going to leave it just like that. And again, I think this one definitely needs that black card base. Cut an extra. But before we do that, let's slip these little leaves in there. There we go. That just finishes it off. And we'll use the black card base. Now you could add sequins. This color combination would be great with the mermaid sequins, the mermaid's tail. But it's so colorful and so beautiful that I don't know how much you really need to add. Loving the black. And it's right side up this time, guys. It really is. Okay, so there's that one. And then here is this one. All righty. So isn't that a fun way to use your watercolors? You don't have to color. You don't have to learn to shade. You don't have to do anything. You can just use that vibrant, beautiful watercolor to create elements for your cards. And also you can create beautiful backgrounds. And you can also create things like this that will just be perfect for a backdrop for a big word or anything else that you want. So, all right. Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed these cards. So we're going to give these away tonight. Tom's going to pick winners. And if you're new here, the way you get entered is during the live at some point you make a comment. That's all. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, I'd love it if you give this video a thumbs up. That would be awesome. That really does help my channel. And yeah, all right. So, and subscribe. If you're not subscribed on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you. You'll get notifications and stuff if you hit the notification bell every time I go live. This way you won't miss it. Okay, Tom. So let's give the pink card out first.
Pink card.
Pink and orange.
Drum roll, please.
There you go.
The pink stunning card goes to Darlene Cope, C-O-P-E.
Yay, Darlene! Yay! Congratulations, Darlene. I will actually mount this on this card base for you. You got my my upside down card, but it isn't anymore. All right, and then who is going to get the vibrant turquoises and greens?
Vibrant turquoise green goes to Marcia Lynn.
Marcia!
Lynn.
Hey, Marcia, congratulations. All right, ladies, all you have to do is send your name and address to info@ginakdesigns.com and just say whether you won the pink card or the turquoise card, and I will get those right out to you. The way to enter is just anytime we're going live, just make a comment and you're automatically entered. Tom just picks from all the names and he just picks randomly. So okay, everybody. Well, I've had a great time tonight. I hope you have too. I hope that you'll give this technique a try. I'd love to see what you do. Do it on your die cut words. Do it on your die cut frames and flags. Do it on your die cut foliage and botanical duos and the cross and all those other beautiful dies that we have. I can't wait to see what you come up with. And Tom and I will be back on Thursday for another Crafternoon. 12 o'clock Central Time, and then I'll be back over the weekend with another 5-minute card video. Until then, everyone, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you all so very much, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.